We are here at Audio Advice Live 2023. We're in the Monitor Audio demo rooms. We are checking out these new Hyphn speakers, the $95,000 pair of speakers. They've got some unique technology. We're also going to talk about their Synergy home theater system that's in the room right next to us. That's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. We are here with Charles, the product designer for Monitor Audio. I want Charles to drop us some knowledge on these new Hyphn speakers. I've never seen a speaker that looks quite like this. It's very unique. We just heard a demo. I'll give you some demo experience on that. But first, why don't you give us a little rundown of what's in this speaker, why it looks like this, and what's going on with all these woofers in here.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. So this is Hyphn. Hyphn is our North America debut for the product as well, which we're really excited about. Hyphn is the production version of what we debuted at Munich 2 years ago, which was a product called the Concept 50. Concept 50 was a prototype loudspeaker which we developed for our 50th birthday. So our owner, we're still privately owned in the UK, which we're quite proud of, and our owner challenged both myself, the design director, and the technical director, Michael Hedges, to come up with a statement speaker that looked to our next 50 years. We didn't, we're very much a forward-thinking company. We didn't want to get too nostalgic for our birthday, so we wanted to think about the next 50 years. So we created a speaker that was born from its configuration. So Michael and I sat down one day and we started looking at what we wanted to achieve. And he started talking about loudspeaker configurations, and we decided, wouldn't it be cool to create the object around that configuration? And that's what we see here today.
So we have a multi-driver array. What are these, 2-inch mids?
Yeah, so it's quite unique. We call it the M array, which is housed on this bridge here. Mm-hmm. Within the M array, there are 7 working transducers. So you have 6 2-inch mid-ranges arranged very, very tightly around our 3rd generation MPD tweeter. That whole configuration actually is within a 5-inch diameter, so you get a really, really tight point source.
Yeah, so that, guys, the advantage of having multiple drivers like this is to give you increased sensitivity and increased output. I think when I looked at your website, it said that the max output on the speaker is 129 dB. We're not really sure how that's rated, but that's pretty freaking loud. And we heard this in this room. This is a huge room, very challenging room to get sound good in here without it being compressed or without having really, getting that deep bass response. But what I heard here, we listened to Billie Eilish, Bad Guy. I know that's like an overplayed song, but I know that song is a reference because I listened to it for quite some time. I have kids. And what I heard when I sat in the center was I heard a very strong phantom center. I mean, the imaging was incredible. For a room that's not acoustically treated, and it's a big open space, we heard good imaging and a really wide soundstage. Like, I was hearing stuff to the sides, and I just heard very precise, like a point source kind of image out of the speakers. And part of that is because of this driver configuration, but also you must have really tight tolerances between the 2 speakers to get them to really match well.
Yeah, there's a lot of work goes into that, especially on the mid-range drivers and the tweeter, getting those all paired, and they're all individually checked before assembly. It's like making a watch, the driver unit array within the Hyphn. It's really, really precision.
So tell us about the bass array. It's a force canceling. You got 4
eights? Yeah. So we've gone a bit different in the way we've worked with our force cancel bass drivers. So they're inward firing. They work in exactly the same way as they would be outward firing. They still take away that vibrational energy. So we don't have to deal with that within the cabinet design. We only have to deal with everything else. So as soon as you get rid of that vibrational energy, it makes your life a lot easier. But the cabinet themselves, they're held in this, it's made of a really rigid acrylic polymer, acrylic stone. So it's got a really, really high.
Tap it.
So it feels really cold, like a rock.
Yeah, pretty dead.
And what's quite unique is, you need a lot of air volume in flagship loudspeakers to get that to that low end. So there is still a lot of air volume in these because the wall thickness isn't as thick as if we had to use, MDF or other materials. But we still get that density and that weight. These things are over 100 kilograms each, so there is a high mass there. But the cabinet still has a large internal air volume, which is really, really great. And they're ported as well. The ports only kick in quite low down, so that it acts as a sealed box when you need it, and when you really, really need to play those songs like the Billie Eilish, it really kicks in, and you get that extra kick at the bottom end. Gotcha.
Yeah. Now you got some serious electronics here. I think these are Mark Levinson monoblocks, right?
Yeah, I think they're the 50th anniversary monoblocks. The guys from Mark Levinson have been really helpful loaning those for the weekend, so that's really, really great of them.
And what's the electronics? HiFi Rose? You had a HiFi Rose?
Yeah, I think we're just streaming at the show today, so yeah, streaming via Tidal on the HiFi Rose.
All right, well, I appreciate you dropping the knowledge here. Why don't we walk over to the next room, look at the Cinergy line, because I want to talk about their home theater line of speakers as well. All right, guys, so we just heard the Hyphn speakers, very impressive. I want to talk about the Cinergy line of speakers. We've got George, Director of Sales of Monitor Audio. Give us a rundown of this 7.4.4 system. Tell me what this is all about, and what was involved in getting this whole room set up to sound the way it does.
Sure, so I guess first and foremost, Cinergy is Monitor Audio's product that has been designed for the customer who is looking to have a reference level theater in their home. Cinergy is THX Ultra certified. You've got 4 different speaker components that you can. The one that's in the frame right now is the big Cinergy 300. This is can be used as a floor stander, can be mounted on the wall, fabric wall, however you want to do it. But Cinergy is basically designed to be heard and not seen, and be able to hit those 102, 103 dB reference levels, provided you feed it enough power. There's a smaller Cinergy 200. We've got the Cinergy 100s in the back of the room, and we're using 4 of the Cinergy 15-inch subwoofers. And so to your question, what all is going on in the room? We are running this in a 7.4.4 configuration. We've got our platinum and ceilings up in the ceiling, and we're using Trinnov electronics for the processing and amplification of the main channels, and Monitor Audio custom installation amplifiers for the subs, showing each one of these subs 1,500 watts.
So when you set these subs up in the system, you run them speaker level because the amps are rack mountable.
Correct. Yep. So the subs are passive. In a perfect world, we'd run this whole system with Monitor Audio amplifiers. Wasn't to be this time, but I think we've got a really good combination. We're actually showing Cinergy on the gear that it was designed on. So that was a pretty good shout out to Trinnov, and we appreciate them partnering up with us for the event.
So we got to hear some demos in here. We listened to Top Gun. Of course, that's a great movie. If you guys haven't seen it, check it out. But what really impressed me about the demo experience that we had in this room was when we listened to The Greatest Showman, and we listened to the track Never Enough, I believe it was.
Yep.
And the vocal clarity was excellent. The sound was very immersive. And this is, not an easy room. It's a very wide open space, and they had to put some speakers in the ceilings, which is impressive in itself that you guys were able to put speakers in
It's the only hotel I've ever been in that has allowed us to cut holes to put in ceilings in. So yeah.
Yeah. So you do offer a whole line of amplifiers if people want to do full range?
Absolutely. So we've got 4 different custom installation amplifiers that are fully controllable, and a 5th one that's just for distributed audio. But basically we're using our 750 watt by 4 channel amplifiers in this room. There's a 750 by 2, a 125 by 4, and a 60 by 4.
Are these all Class D amps?
Yeah, they're all Class D. They're based on Pascal technology. It's proven to be a bulletproof, very high performance technology, and one that we're really proud to adapt. And
so guys, I use all Pascal amplification in 2 of my systems in my house, and George is exactly right. These amps are bulletproof. They run really cool. Like, they don't get hot, and
very hard to get the fans to come
And I've
on.
bench tested them, and the bench tests are pretty good, but they don't give you all the whole story. These amplifiers really are very musical amplifiers, very dynamic amplifiers. I don't have no complaints about that. Well, George, I appreciate you giving us the demo of these 2 different areas for Monitor Audio. We're going to be checking out more Monitor Audio speakers in the near future. I think we have a pair of silver 500s coming
Silver
in for review.
500's on the way for review, absolutely. And we'll work together to get some more different products your way.
So stay tuned for that. Guys, if you like this video, please hit the thumb up. Don't forget about our Patreon channel at patreon.com/audioholics. We appreciate your support. You get direct access to me if you want to suggest video topics or ask questions. And until next time, my friends, keep listening.